At one point, Belgium had the best football team on the planet. Not in their imagination. Not according to fans. According to FIFA's official world rankings. Number 1 in the entire world. Their squad read like a video game cheat code. Eden Hazard, the most unplayable winger in Europe. Kevin De Bruyne, arguably the greatest midfielder of his generation. Romelu Lukaku, a physical monster with 68 international goals. Thibaut Courtois, Jan Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld, Vincent Kompany. This was not a good team. This was a generational phenomenon that comes around maybe once every 50 years. And they won absolutely nothing. No World Cup, no European Championship, not even a final. The greatest collection of Belgian football talent in history retired with empty hands and broken hearts. So what went wrong? How does the number 1 team in the world fail so completely? This is the tragedy of Belgium's golden generation. To understand the collapse, you first have to understand just how real the dream was. Belgium's golden generation didn't happen by accident. In the late 1990s, after years of mediocrity, the Belgian Football Association made a radical decision. They completely rebuilt their youth development system from scratch. They hired foreign coaches, modernized their academies, and created a unified playing philosophy across every age group in the country. The results started showing around 2008 and 2009. Suddenly, Belgium was producing world-class talent at a rate nobody had ever seen from such a small country of just 11 million people. By 2014, the generation was ready. They arrived at the 2014 World Cup in Brazil ranked as dark horses and immediately looked like genuine contenders. Belgium won all 3 group stage matches, defeated the United States in the round of 16, and reached the quarterfinals before losing narrowly to Argentina. For a young squad, it felt like the beginning of something special. 2 years later came UEFA Euro 2016. Belgium entered the tournament ranked number 2 in the world and many considered them genuine favorites. After recovering from an opening defeat to Italy, they reached the quarterfinals and faced Wales. Belgium took the lead early and looked in complete control. Then everything collapsed. Wales scored 3 times and stunned them 3-1. It remains one of the biggest upsets in European Championship history. Despite the disappointment, belief remained strong. The squad was still young, still loaded with world-class talent, and many believed their best chance was yet to come. But something else was quietly happening beneath the surface. Something that would eventually destroy everything. Belgium had world-class players. What they never truly had was unity. The country of Belgium is famously divided, split between Dutch-speaking Flanders in the north and French-speaking Wallonia in the south. This cultural tension lives inside the national team dressing room. Players from different linguistic backgrounds, different clubs, and different personal rivalries. And at the center of it all was a power struggle nobody talked about publicly but everyone inside knew existed. Over the years, reports of tensions inside the dressing room repeatedly surfaced. Former players and journalists spoke about cliques within the squad, disagreements between key personalities, and a feeling that the group never fully became the united force their talent suggested they should have been. While many players have downplayed the divisions, the perception of internal fractures followed Belgium throughout the golden generation era. Then there was the tactical problem. Roberto Martinez, their Spanish manager, was beloved by the players. Too beloved, some would argue. He trusted his senior stars completely, sometimes to a fault. Belgium were often criticized for lacking tactical flexibility. When opponents found ways to neutralize their strengths, they sometimes struggled to adapt. They were a collection of individuals more than a true team. The 2018 World Cup in Russia exposed all of this. Russia 2018 was supposed to be their year. They were close to peak power. Hazard was in the form of his life. De Bruyne was one of the best midfielders in Europe. Lukaku was scoring goals at an elite level. The draw was kind. Everything lined up. They reached the semi-final. 1 game away from a World Cup final. And they ran into France. Belgium had more possession. Belgium had more chances. But France, a younger, more ruthless, more coldly organized team, beat them 1-0 with a single set-piece goal from Samuel Umtiti. Belgium looked rattled, disconnected. When the pressure became unbearable, the individual genius that carried them through every previous round simply disappeared. They won 3rd place against England, a game that meant nothing to anyone. And from that moment, the window began closing. Hazard moved to Real Madrid and was destroyed by injuries. De Bruyne suffered multiple setbacks. The team aged together, just as they had risen together. By the time Qatar 2022 arrived, something had changed, and it wasn't just their bodies. Before the tournament even started, Kevin De Bruyne, their best player and the heartbeat of the entire team, was asked directly about Belgium's chances of winning the World Cup. His answer shocked everyone. De Bruyne said, "No chance. We're too old. I think our chance was 2018. He pointed to the loss of key players from the previous generation and suggested Belgium's best opportunity had already passed. Think about that for a second. The captain of your golden generation, the man you built an entire decade of hope around, telling the world before a single ball was kicked that it was already over. That wasn't a press conference soundbite. That was a eulogy. They were slower, heavier, and carrying the psychological weight of years of underachievement. They crashed out in the group stage, beaten by Morocco and held by Croatia. Their last chance was gone. Roberto Martinez resigned the night of their elimination. The Golden Generation was officially over. So that is the tragedy. The number 1 team in the world. 3 major tournaments at full strength. 0 trophies. History will remember them as the greatest team never to win anything. A story football will use for decades to explain how talent alone is never enough. How unity, identity, and ruthlessness under pressure matter just as much as the names on the back of the shirt. But here is the question nobody has answered yet. Belgium has a new generation rising. Lois Openda, Jeremy Doku, Charles de Ketelaere. Young, fast, hungry players who grew up watching their heroes fall short. Players who know exactly what this nation is desperate to feel. Is the Golden Generation truly finished? Or is it simply changing faces? And here's the twist. Belgium are playing at the 2026 World Cup. The Golden Generation is gone. The pressure is gone. Yet Belgium still find themselves fighting just to get out of the group. Maybe the problem was never just the players. Maybe replacing a generation is harder than anyone imagined. Because the pain of coming so close and winning nothing, that kind of pain either destroys a footballing nation forever or it builds the next one. Belgium's story is not over. The next chapter is just beginning.